It is my honor and pleasure to bring with you here today Jim Starlin, creator of Thanos, Drax, Dreadstar, Mongol, Shang-Chi. It's kind of an endless list here. We're going to talk about his 50th anniversary of being in the industry, 50th anniversary of that, 40th anniversary of Dreadstar, 31st anniversary of Infinity Gauntlet. So 2022 is a big year for you here, Jim.
Yeah, I feel kind of overwhelmed. The fact that I've done anything for 50 years just I find incredible and unbelievable. But I guess I have. That's what everybody keeps telling me, and I guess I have to believe them.
50 years is surprising when you don't even look 50.
Well, you get a close up here, you'll see the split line.
So, Jim, you've got an awesome celebration of 50 years coming up, and we're going to be launching an Indiegogo campaign, which we're going to showcase for the first time in 50 years your first cover into, I guess, what we'd call the John Carter universe with the Deja Thoris cover, and provide a couple extra things from, I believe, your own personal collection.
Yeah, they talked me into getting rid of some file copies I've had in the closet for 50 years. Yeah, these are actually books I've had that came, when I did the different books. I think they're doing some of the Strange Tales with Warlock for this Indiegogo. But I'm really looking forward. We've had a great time. Jamie Jameson, who is my anchor and co-collaborator on this project, we had a great time working on it, bouncing ideas back and forth, and then finally getting down and doing the actual piece here. So this is a number of firsts on this one here.
Well, I'm personally very excited, and I know my fans of the channel are as well. In addition to the Deja Thoris cover, part of this campaign is going to include some limited signed copies and some original art. So we're talking Strange Tales 178, 179, with the character of Adam Warlock, which, Jim, we're going to talk about that a little bit in just a second. First appearance of Pip the Troll, Universal Church of Truth, and Magus. We've also got Special Marvel Edition 16, Death of the New Gods number 3, Warlock Chronicles number 4, the historic Death of Captain Marvel. Obviously, that would have to get in there somewhere. And we got original art from 2006's Mystery in Space, issue 6, a little bit from The Weird with Bernie Wrightson from 88. Plenty of awesome stuff going on here. Jim, I wanted to ask, I don't know if a lot of people are aware, you suffered a hand injury, I'm assuming with this cover. Are you all better?
I had a compressed air explosion and blew a big hole in this part of the hand down about an inch deep, and shredded my ear at the time and dislocated the cornea. So there's about 3 years I wasn't drawing.
Wow.
I eventually got back to it, partially because of the encouragement of Jamie Jameson and her insistence that I do her Dr. Doom sketch. Not Thanos. She wanted Dr. Doom. Really annoying. So there was a little bit of time there where I didn't do it, but a lot of hand while squeezing and exercises, and we got back to it.
Well, it's good to have you back. It's great to see you what you do best, which is that awesome art.
Yeah, so, I see you've got Midnight Rose behind you. Saying that's another new one that worked out here with Nikki. With different folks.
Yes, sir. And on the subject of Midnight Rose, one thing I wanted to ask is Midnight Rose working with Dynamite, Aftershock. How do you feel that variance in dealing with the more indies works in comparison to, let's say, the big boys of Marvel and DC?
I don't think we need the big boys of Marvel and DC anymore with social media and that. In the past, they were where you got your name out there. You had to work for Marvel or DC just for people in the general comic book community to know who you are. I think that's much less the case now, and I think a lot of folks can, like Nicole here on Midnight Rose, she's been doing indie things for a number of years in the social media, and so that's how I met her. Other folks have done some very nice things. I don't think we need the big two anymore as much as we did in the past. As an artist, for a showcase.
The landscape has changed in the comic community, and I've been saying it on my channel. Indie comics are kind of what's up right now. I feel like my pull list these days is actually more indie than it is Marvel and DC. For
Yeah,
sure.
and besides which, there's also other projects that these indies will do it. Like I'm doing a 40th anniversary trading card edition through Dynamite here also.
Yes,
So
sir. That's for Dreadstar, right?
that's for Dreadstar, the 40th anniversary of him around. That
Ta-da. Now, I wanted to make sure, and it's cool that I get to share this with actually you. I buy comic collections, and about a month ago, I was at checking out a collection, and this guy was getting rid of everything: Marvel, DC, the biggest stuff. He got rid of some big boys. He had a full Dreadstar run. He got rid of everything, but he was not letting me take the Dreadstar. He was keeping that for himself. And
well, I'm honored.
I hope he's watching this. That effect that you've had on your fans, I think, resonates so clearly. Even myself, I'm a massive Batman the Cult fan. So,
Well, I had a lot of help like Bernie and folks along the way. So it's been a collaboration on the most part, and I guess when you're having fun, 50 years goes fast.
we got to touch on a little bit of the future of the MCU, which everyone's believing to be cosmic. Obviously, we know that Warlock's going to be around. We've already had a casting call back in 2021. And I just have to say, with Thanos being a household name amongst nerds, now he's on little girls' backpacks, murals, and everything like that. Are you ready for more of your characters to get the same treatment?
Well, they keep popping in out of nowhere. Like the end of Eternals, we had Pip and Eros come in. That was a nice surprise. But I think there's room enough in the Marvel universe for a lot of things to develop. I'd like to see Mistress Death finally make an appearance.
Yes.
Seeing that there's a multiverse, there's multiple Thanoses probably out there. One of them's got to have a girlfriend. And now with Eros and Pip arriving and Warlock, there's a whole lot of things that may spring off from what I've done in the past. I'm just a viewer like you folks. I'm not in there producing these movies or anything like that. So I'm most of the time as surprised as anyone else when something like this happens.
So you weren't alerted that Pip the Troll was going to make an appearance?
Oh, I was sort of filled in a couple days before. It was most of the scuttlebutt was about Eros because of Harry Styles playing him.
Right.
But the fact that they were both showing up there, I went, oh, I guess that little run I did with Alan Davis at the end of my Thanos run finally paid off.
I'd say
Pip and
so.
Eros together.
Do you have any plans for any more cameos in the future, or can you not?
That's going to be up to Marvel. I lobby, but they don't always tell me until the last moment what's going to happen.
Well, we're all very excited to see these characters pop up. I know I've been looking forward to back even when they did the first Captain America movie. It was even in my brain like, what if we got to the point where we could get some Warlock up in here? And I think that day is going to be a coming. So,
yeah, Warlock and Magus both. It looks like that's what the casting call was for.
We'll see.
Yeah.
As a writer who liked to push boundaries, talking movie and TV here again. Yes, you, Jim Starlin. Superman meeting God and whatnot, and things of that nature. We now have a push for TV and movies like The Boys, Deadpool. Do you think people are ready and wanting the more cerebral, maybe the more darker stuff?
I think you've seen it, like you said, in The Boys, other shows that are not comic book related, particularly have been successful with some very dark and disturbing things like Evil. I mean, there's room for both of them. I'm currently watching Resident Alien from the Sci-Fi Channel, which I find hilarious. So I think there's, with streaming, there's such a cornucopia, a horn of plenty of things to choose from that, I think there's room for all of it. Everything sort of eventually finds its niche, even if it isn't all that popular to begin with. Everything's sort of there forever now.
Yeah.
You can go back 20 years from now and probably watch The Walking Dead all over again.
Exactly. Well, from what you just said, I'm gonna hold my breath for hope that Maybe one day we're going to get some cult adaptation. Well, Deacon Blackfire being the new Thanos. We'll
Well,
see.
we'll see what happens.
Still waiting for my Mongol movie.
Yeah, don't hold your breath on that one.
No.
But then I said the same thing on Thanos, so who knows?
Final question I wanted to ask you before I let you go today, and it's back to Dreadstar. If you were to have a Dreadstar something, would you like to have a movie or a TV show?
TV show. It's a long story. It's too long for even 3 movies. It's an epic saga. You know, I mean, I was shooting for a grand scale thing, and 2, 3 hours is just not enough to tell that story. It's got to be over an extended period of time.
I believe so. Unless maybe you got Peter Jackson making 6 4-hour movies out of it, I'd say TV.
I think he's got better things to do with his time right now.
Don't sell yourself short. Dreadstar's amazing. Guys, thank you so much for having Jim Starlin and welcoming him here on my channel. I am going to put a link for the Indiegogo campaign, although I got to tell you, there's going to be certain boxes for things that you can purchase. You've got competition. I want a good half of the stuff that they're going to be putting up. So I'm very excited. And Jim, thank you very much. It was an absolute pleasure having you here on the channel. And anything you wanted to say to everybody before we head out?
Thanks for keeping me alive all these years.
We'll take it. And as I always say, everybody, keep on hunting.